He was stuck. Day in and day out, the monotony of his life weighed heavily on him. The same routine, the same faces, the same tasks. It was as if he was living the same day over and over again, trapped in an endless loop. His days were all the same. The alarm clock would ring and he would drag himself out of bed, already dreading the day ahead. The commute to work was a blur, a series of mundane moments that blended together. At the office, the hours crawled by, each one indistinguishable from the last. Wake up, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, repeat. It was a cycle that seemed unbreakable, a pattern that had become his prison. Even his evenings offered no respite. He would eat dinner alone, the silence of his apartment echoing his own sense of isolation. The cubicle walls felt like they were closing in. Each day they seemed to inch closer, suffocating him with their blandness. The fluorescent lights above cast a harsh, unflattering glow, making everything feel even more sterile and lifeless. He longed for something more. His name was Daniel. Daniel had dreams once, big dreams, but somewhere along the way those dreams had been buried under the weight of responsibility and routine. He would often find himself staring out of the window, lost in thought, imagining a different life. Daniel had a good job, a nice apartment, but he wasn't happy. On the surface, everything seemed perfect. He had a stable career, a comfortable home, and all the trappings of success. But inside he felt empty, like something vital was missing. He felt like a cog in a machine, just going through the motions. Each task he completed, each report he filed, felt meaningless. It was as if he was on autopilot, his actions devoid of any real purpose or passion. One day he stumbled upon a travel magazine. It was a chance discovery, something he picked up absent-mindedly while waiting for his coffee. But as he flipped through the pages, something inside him stirred. Pictures of exotic landscapes and smiling faces filled the pages. There were images of pristine beaches, lush forests, and vibrant cities. Each photograph seemed to tell a story of adventure and freedom, a stark contrast to his own life. A spark ignited within him. For the first time in a long while, he felt a glimmer of hope. Could he really break free from his routine? Could he find the courage to chase his dreams? Could he have that kind of freedom? The idea seemed both exhilarating and terrifying. But as he sat there, magazine in hand, he knew one thing for certain. He couldn't continue living the way he had been. It was time for a change. The magazine became his escape. He devoured every issue, dreaming of far-off lands. He started researching online, reading travel blogs and forums. He learned about people who had quit their jobs to travel the world. They were making money through freelancing, blogging, photography, and more. Could he do that too? The thought terrified him, but also excited him. He started to believe that maybe, just maybe, he could break free. Daniel started small. He took a weekend trip to a nearby town he'd never explored. It felt good to be out of his routine, even for a short while. He began learning new skills like photography and web design. He practiced writing about his experiences. He saved every penny he could. He knew he needed a plan, so he gave himself a timeline. 1 year. 1 year to make his dream a reality. The day came when Daniel finally quit his job. He sold his belongings, packed a backpack, and bought a one-way ticket to Thailand. He was both excited and terrified. The first few weeks were a whirlwind of new sights, sounds, and smells. He explored ancient temples, sampled exotic foods, and met people from all walks of life. He started a blog to document his journey, sharing stories and photos of his adventures. It was slow going at first, but he was determined to make it work. Section 5. Finding my feet. Daniel quickly learned that travel wasn't always glamorous. There were challenges, loneliness, language barriers, and the constant need to budget. But the rewards were far greater. He found ways to make his money last. He stayed in hostels, cooked his own meals, and took advantage of free activities. He embraced the local culture, learning basic phrases and customs. He picked up freelance writing gigs online, writing articles for travel websites and magazines. It wasn't much, but it was a start. Section 6. The world unfolds. Over the next few months, Daniel's travels took him to Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. He trekked through jungles, swam in turquoise waters, and marveled at ancient ruins. He met fellow travelers from around the world, each with their own story to tell. He learned about different cultures, perspectives, and ways of life. His world expanded. His blog started to gain traction. People were connecting with his stories and his passion for travel. He started earning a small income from advertising and affiliate marketing. Section 7. The challenges of freedom. It wasn't always easy. Freedom, while exhilarating, often came with its own set of challenges. The open road, the endless horizons, and the promise of new adventures were enticing, but they also brought moments of solitude and introspection. There were times when Daniel felt lost and lonely. The vastness of the world sometimes made him feel insignificant, like a tiny speck in the grand scheme of things. The nights by the campfire, with only the stars for company, were both beautiful and haunting. The silence of the wilderness often echoed his inner thoughts, making him question his journey. There were times when he missed the comforts of home, the familiar faces, the cozy corners, and the predictable routines. Looking at old photos, he would sometimes yearn for the warmth of his old life. The bustling streets of foreign cities, though exciting, often made him nostalgic for the quiet lanes of his hometown. There were times when he doubted himself and his choices. The path ahead was often unclear, and the weight of his decisions sometimes felt overwhelming. Sitting on a rock by a mountain trail, he would ponder if he was on the right path. The maps and guides were helpful, but they couldn't always provide the answers he sought. He learned to embrace the uncertainty. With time, Daniel realized that the unknown was not something to fear, but to welcome. Each new city, each new face, and each new experience was a chapter in his story. The thrill of stepping off a bus in a new city, the excitement of discovering uncharted territories, became his new normal. He learned to trust his instincts. The more he traveled, the more he understood the importance of listening to his inner voice. Standing confidently in front of scenic vistas, he felt a deep connection with the world around him. At every fork in the road, he made decisions not just with his mind but with his heart. He learned that it was okay to ask for help. Independence didn't mean isolation. Daniel discovered the beauty of human connections. Whether it was asking locals for directions in a quaint village or seeking advice from fellow travelers at a hostel, he realized that people were always willing to lend a hand. These interactions enriched his journey, making it more meaningful. He realized that every challenge was an opportunity for growth. The steep hills, the difficult paths, and the moments of doubt were all part of his learning curve. Each obstacle he overcame made him stronger and more resilient. The satisfaction of reaching the top of a hill or successfully navigating a tricky path was unparalleled. He discovered a resilience he never knew he had. The journey tested his limits, pushing him beyond his comfort zone. But with every challenge, he found a well of strength within him. Standing tall on rocky peaks, he felt a sense of accomplishment and pride. The triumphs, big and small, were testaments to his perseverance. He learned to adapt to new situations, overcome obstacles, and find joy in the simplest things. The local markets, the serene lakes, and the spontaneous picnics became his sources of joy. Daniel's journey was not just about reaching destinations, but about embracing the experiences along the way. The challenges of freedom taught him invaluable lessons, shaping him into the person he was meant to be. Section 8. The rewards of the path. Despite the challenges, Daniel wouldn't trade his life for anything. Every step he took on his journey was a testament to his resilience and determination. The path was often steep and treacherous, but the rewards were beyond measure. Each sunrise he witnessed from a mountain peak, each ancient ruin he explored, and each city skyline he admired from above filled him with a sense of accomplishment and wonder. He was living his dream. He was free. The freedom to stand on a cliff edge with his arms open wide, to kayak in a calm lake, or to surf the ocean waves was exhilarating. These moments of pure joy and liberation were the essence of his journey. They were the moments that made all the hardships worthwhile. He had found his purpose. Meditating on a mountaintop, enjoying a sunset on a secluded beach, or simply smiling during a hike, Daniel felt a deep connection to the world around him. This connection was his guiding light, his source of strength and inspiration. It was in these quiet, reflective moments that he truly understood the rewards of the path he had chosen. He was no longer defined by his job title or his possessions. Walking through bustling markets, attending cultural festivals, and interacting with locals, Daniel realized that his identity was shaped by his experiences and the people he met along the way. These interactions enriched his life and broadened his perspective, making him a more compassionate and understanding individual. He was defined by his experiences, his connections, and his outlook on life. Taking photos with locals, participating in their traditions, and sharing meals with families, Daniel felt a profound sense of belonging, These moments of genuine connection were the true rewards of his journey. They taught him the value of community and the importance of embracing diversity. He was a citizen of the world. With his backpack, passport, and an insatiable curiosity, Daniel explored city streets, discovering new cultures and ways of life. Each destination was a new chapter in his story, filled with adventures and lessons that shaped his worldview. He embraced the unknown with open arms, knowing that every experience, whether good or bad, was a step towards personal growth. His blog had become his platform to inspire others to pursue their dreams. Typing on his laptop in a cozy cafe, writing in his journal at a scenic location, or recording videos on his smartphone, Daniel shared his journey with the world. His stories of adventure, struggle, and triumph resonated with many, encouraging them to step out of their comfort zones and chase their own dreams. He shared his struggles and triumphs, encouraging others to step outside their comfort zones. Through motivational speeches, leading group hikes, and teaching workshops outdoors, Daniel connected with people from all walks of life. His message was clear: the rewards of the path are not just in the destinations, but in the journey itself. Embrace the challenges, cherish the moments of joy, and find your own path to fulfillment. Section 9. A Life Transformed. Daniel's journey taught him that life is not about accumulating things, but about collecting experiences. It's about embracing the unknown, pushing your boundaries, and discovering who you truly are. He continues to travel the world, sharing his stories and inspiring others to live their best lives. He is living proof that it's never too late to change your life. Chase your dreams and live a life filled with passion and purpose.